Hoe word je president van de Verenigde Staten? Dat ga ik onderzoeken door mij kandidaat te stellen voor het presidentschap.
Most of the presidents of the United States have been poker players. Oh yes, those are perfect.
En nou hoor ik u denken, dat kan helemaal niet. Want hij is in Nederland geboren en als je niet in Amerika bent geboren, kom je niet in aanmerking. Daar heb ik een oplossing voor. How much money are Romney and Obama going to spend together before the elections?
It looks about $2 billion.
$2 billion. Ik ben namelijk van plan om Nederland tot de 51ste staat van de Verenigde Staten te maken. En als dat geslaagd is, dan kom ik ook in aanmerking voor het presidentschap.
What are the things that I really deeply hate about the United States? The men's restrooms.
En in de loop van deze wonderlijke zoektocht zal duidelijk worden dat die Amerikaanse presidentsverkiezingen bepaald een zonderlinge aangelegenheid zijn. We zijn onderweg naar Holland, het plaatsje Holland wel te verstaan, in de staat Michigan. Hier kwamen in de 19e eeuw tal van Nederlandse gereformeerden wonen. En daarmee hebben wij een stevig religieus stempel gedrukt op de Amerikaanse samenleving ter plekke. De vraag is natuurlijk of ik daar iets mee kan in mijn campagne. Maar eerst verdiepen we ons even in een typisch Amerikaanse obsessie, het themapark. Wat in dit bijzondere geval onszelf betreft. Hallo?
Welcome to Holland, Michigan.
Maarten, Rossem.
Joe Nalis.
When did the Dutch settle here in Holland, Michigan?
Holland, Michigan was settled by a Dutch minister in 1847. He had a following. They set up a colony here, and they wanted to practice a more conservative religion than what was being allowed in the Netherlands
really
at the time.
Serious reformed.
It's very strict.
Church.
Yeah. And Holland, Michigan stayed very conservative, probably for at least 100 years.
Is the district still represented by a Republican in Washington?
Very much so. Yeah.
What's the name of the guy in Washington?
Huizinga.
Huizinga.
Huizinga. Yeah.
Another Dutch name, actually.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the district going to vote for Mitt Romney, you think?
Absolutely.
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 Het heeft volgens mij niets met volksdansen te maken. Vincent van Gogh, weliswaar met wat barsten in de hals, maar wat natuurlijk eigenlijk het meest komische is, hij schildert dus een zonnebloem terwijl hij staat uit te kijken op een Amerikaanse snelweg, waar de ene reuze truck na de andere voorbij komt denderen. Het is een aandoenlijk prutswerk, waarbij bovendien, moet ik nog even op wijzen, de vogels. Kijk, de vogels hebben op het schilderij gepoept, waardoor het een unieke, authentieke waarde heeft gekregen. Het is mede gevormd door de natuur. Het is klein, maar... Want dat brengt ons natuurlijk bij een probleem wat we nog helemaal niet hebben besproken. Namelijk dat een Amerikaanse president, dat hij godsdienstig moet zijn. Een meerderheid van de Amerikanen is van mening dat een president die niet gelooft, dat die eigenlijk totaal ongeschikt is voor het ambt. Dat die geen morele koers kan uitzetten. Dus in die zin zou ik mij misschien wel moeten bekeren voor het presidentschap. En ik moet bekennen dat als u ooit in de krant leest dat ik mij bekeerd heb, dan is dat een typische politieke leugen. Dat klopt dan niet. Ik ga mijzelf niet bekeren. Maar feit is dat Amerikanen dat denken.
1450 WHTC Holland's hometown station. It's 8:52 here. Red Kingman here with you in the morning hangout for coffee, conversation, fun, and presidential candidates. Famous Dutch professor Maarten van Rossem, who for 30 years was a leading commentator on U.S. affairs for Dutch media. He is now a very successful political comedian and kind of in his second youth. He has taken a tour across our country here, and he's developing a program called Van Rossem for President. In it, he's taking a journey all around the United States, exploring what it will take to become the President of the United States. So, Professor, I'll ask you that question. What will it take to become President of the United States?
It takes a ton of money. It's much easier to become a successful politician in the Netherlands when it comes to money. It's a very complicated process. You have to start actually years and years beforehand to become President of the United States. I mean, if you actually become President of the United States, you are a great organizer, an attractive person. You need a serious program. It's maybe the most difficult political race in the world.
You're here in the United States and you're running for president?
The problem, of course, is that I'm unelectable because I was born in the Netherlands and not in the United States. And you have to be born in the United States to become president. So my first point in my program is to make the Netherlands the 51st state of the United States.
Wow. You almost sound like our current president, who is also in the midst of a controversy over his citizenship. Except, I guess that's kind of a moot point since he is the President of the United States. Now, from what I understand, you have a very strong passion about American politics. How did you develop that?
When I was a student, I think in '64, I bought a book by Theodore White, The Making of the President, 1960. All about the race between Kennedy and Nixon. And I found that a fascinating book. And I thought that American politics was so more fascinating than Dutch politics, which seemed to me, well, stuffy and not particularly interesting at all. It's a very small country, so who cares? And, well, this American presidential campaign seemed to have something heroic.
All right, Professor, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your insights with us. We'll be right back with more of Red's Place on 1450 WHTC. It's 5:55.
Even verderop is weer een themapark. En hier ontmoet ik voor het eerst van mijn leven een echte Amerikaanse president. Die mij nota bene vertelt over zijn moeilijke jeugd.
When I was a boy, we had all sort of critters that we had to share a house with. Sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night with something biting me, and I wasn't altogether sure whether it had 4 legs or 6.
Were there any bugs in the White House, by the way?
Oh my, yes.
Good.
So in the summer, we'd open the windows and they'd fly right in, fly right out.
Lastige insecten is één ding. Maar Lincoln was ook nog eens de eerste president, een republikein bovendien, die werd vermoord. Dit is de moordenaar van Abraham Lincoln. Een acteur die Lincoln dood heeft geschoten terwijl hij in het theater zat. En als je natuurlijk zo'n snorretje hebt, dan weet je eigenlijk van tevoren eigenlijk al dat het natuurlijk een volstrekt onbetrouwbaar sujet is. Hè. Dit is wel zo'n raar snorretje. Hoe herdenken de Amerikanen hun meest geliefde president? Wel nu, op deze enigszins merkwaardige manier dus. De kist, de witte begrafenisbloemen, maar ik moet eerlijk bekennen dat ik dit toch wel iets te veel van het goede vind. Dat je echt zegt van jongens, kom op. Had het een beetje kleiner houden. Plus die muziek hier. Jongen. Een dergelijke poppenkast kennen wij in Nederland gelukkig niet. Kunt u het zich voorstellen? Het Rutte Museum of Balkenendeland. Van Obama weten we niet precies wat hij gelooft. Al weten we wel dat hij gelooft. Maar Romney is lid van een heel vreemd kerkgenootschap. De Mormonen. Salt Lake City is de hoofdstad van de staat Utah en het centrum van de Mormoonse kerk. Joseph Smith kreeg in 1830 een visioen waarin de Heer Jezus hem verzocht om de ware kerk opnieuw op te richten, nota bene in de Verenigde Staten. En dat werd de Mormoonse kerk. De Mormonen werden vervolgd en Joseph Smith werd gelyncht. Daarna trokken de Mormonen naar een zo veilig mogelijke plek in het verre, verre westen, nabij een groot zoutmeer. Salt Lake City. Mitt Romney, een van de 2 presidentiële kandidaten, is Mormoon en heeft het feit dat hij dat is nou ook gevolgen voor zijn politieke overtuigingen. En dat zou het ook gevolgen hebben natuurlijk voor de hele politieke gang van zaken in de Verenigde Staten. Je hoeft er geen verstand van te hebben om te zien dat ze het prima onderhouden hier. Vind ik het mooi? Nee. Maar ja, waarschijnlijk vinden zij hem wel mooi en daar gaat het natuurlijk om. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Maarten van Rossem.
Nice to meet you. Good to meet you.
Here, this is actually a historic site for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And the early members of the church, when they came here, they went through a lot of struggles. And so we like to remember them here at Temple Square.
And this particular place was chosen by luck or because it was
It was actually
holy for some reason?
It was actually Brigham Young, the second prophet for the church, who led the people here. And he led them here, having seen it in a vision. And so when he arrived here in the Salt Lake Valley, he said, "This is the place. This is where we're going to settle."
Seems to be a nice place, wonderful weather. Not
nice.
too hot, not too cold. There were so many young women walking around here. And where are the young men actually?
Only sisters serve at the visitor center or the historic site. Young men are going out on missions just like we are. They don't serve in the visitor centers though. They go out around the world
So it
sharing.
was actually a right impression.
The man up top, his name is John the Baptist. Right on the left,
Yeah.
that's Joseph Smith.
Okay,
And over here is Oliver Cowdery.
okay.
And so they were given that authority to baptize people, to act in the name of Christ.
And baptism is still a very important part of your religion. You are actually also wanted to baptize people in history who didn't know about the message of Jesus. And that's why you have this genealogical center, actually. Okay.
Exactly.
That's the first time, of course, that a Mormon is a serious presidential candidate. And what do you think about his candidacy?
We're each encouraged to make our own decision and to study and find out for ourselves who would represent us the best.
So there is actually not a duty for you as Mormons to vote for Mitt Romney because he's a Mormon.
No.
You could maybe vote for the other candidate
Yeah.
because you maybe think he's a better president.
Yeah, exactly.
That's possible.
And as missionaries here on Temple Square, we're going to share.
Die 2 lieve meisjes hebben ons verteld, er is geen relatie tussen het mormonisme aan de ene kant en politieke overtuigingen aan de andere kant. Ik heb allerlei voorbeelden gegeven. Nee, er was geen verbinding tussen die 2 dingen. Dus Mitt Romney kunnen we veel beter definiëren als multimiljonair, succesvolle grote zakenman, dan als mormoon. Het doet er eigenlijk niet toe dat hij mormoon is. Als we, althans, die meisjes mogen geloven. Humor van en door mormonen. Het bestaat echt. Er is zelfs een mormoons comedycafé.
So I was dating a Mormon girl, and she was always really worried about me not being Mormon. So she went up to Jesus and was like, "Hey Jesus, I really love this guy, but he's not Mormon. I don't know what to do." And Jesus was like, "Well, if you love your boyfriend so much, why don't you marry him?" She's like, "Really? Can I?" He's like, "No." Some exciting news. I'm voting for Mitt Romney. Just kidding.
Is that something like Mormon humor? Or?
Well, I feel like the principles of humor are the same anywhere. You know, the reasons why we laugh are the same. It's just the context is different. And so there's a lot of, like, you know, the intricacies of Mormon culture that we can make jokes about because other people don't understand, you know. But it would be the same about any community.
And
you know?
things that you cannot joke about at all. It's kind of dangerous material.
Yeah, Mormons are definitely a more conservative crowd.
Now's the moment you've all been waiting for. The one and only Professor Dr. Maarten van Rossem, everybody!
You are actually part of my campaign for the presidency of the United States. So, what am I going to change in the United States? What are the things that I really deeply hate about the United States? The men's restrooms. Who ordered these restrooms? I mean, why is it that somebody's sitting there? It's already a difficult thing, and then of course you have no privacy at all, because the restrooms are built from plyboard or whatever you call that, plywood, and then of course it ends here and it ends there. So you hear everything about the other stalls in the men's restroom. And in general, they have a special person placed beside you who, well, serves you a symphony of sounds.
Je zou het misschien niet zeggen, maar Mormonen hebben wel degelijk gevoel voor humor en ze zijn ook vrij tolerant. Maar toch zouden ze het allerliefst iedereen in heden en verleden tot hun geloof willen bekeren. Romney zelf bijvoorbeeld reisde als jonge missionaris naar Frankrijk. En hier in Salt Lake City, naast Temple Square, vind je het Family Archive, een van de grootste databanken ter wereld op dit gebied. Met als enig doel om iedereen tenslotte, levend of dood, op te nemen in de Mormoonse kerk.
So we have about 2.5 million rolls of microfilm here, and they're mostly about church books and civil registration.
Why are you doing this? Why this enormous building? Why the enormous collection?
Well, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is very important to us because we believe that we're trying to tie ourselves to our ancestors. And in the Bible, it says that everyone needs to be baptized. And so if people have not had this opportunity on earth, then we provide this for them by proxy. So we try to find our ancestors and put them together in families and then perform ordinances for them in our temples.
So the forebears that you had in Europe, let's say in the 16th century, can be baptized when their great-great-great-great-grandchildren became Mormons in the United States. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we look at my family history and maybe are there Mormons in my history? You never know.
Okay, so we'll look for you. So here we have a big list. That's probably, 15 or 20 that's spelled correct?
No.
So.
See? There he is. That's my great-grandfather and his wife Arnoldina Jacoba Holleman. And that youngest son is my grandfather.
Great.
And he was a pastor in the Dutch Reformed Church, and he lost his faith in his early 40s. And for the rest of his life, he didn't do anything at all because his wife was rich. That's the moment that our family lost faith, because his son and his son and his son and me, we don't believe a thing. All because of Gerard van Rossem. And a tragic story from your point of view.
Let me tell you how I'll create 12 million jobs when President Obama couldn't. First, my energy independence policy means more than 3 million new jobs, many of them in manufacturing. My tax reform plan to lower rates for the middle class and for small business creates 7 million more. And expanding trade, cracking down on China, and improving job training takes us to over 12 million new jobs. I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
Romney denkt natuurlijk dat hij een fatsoenlijk mens is. Want Mormonen zijn tegen alcohol, tegen roken, tegen koffie en tegen gokken. Maar toch zijn er duistere banden tussen de Republikeinen en de stad waar je alles kunt doen wat verboden is. Las Vegas.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when.
Iedere Amerikaan is opgegroeid met poker. En wat is nu eigenlijk een pokerface? En heb je daar wat aan als president, een pokerface?
Most of the presidents of the United States have been poker players, some of them pretty famous poker players, some of them successful at it. And I know of one president who actually launched his congressional career with money he won playing poker.
Who was that?
That was Richard Nixon.
Many of the things you do in poker are very useful in politics. Unpredictability is the greatest asset or weapon that a leader can have.
He was a very good poker player.
And Kennedy?
Kennedy played poker. I don't know how well he was at it. Eisenhower was probably the best president poker player that we've had.
Yeah, because he also had a great poker face.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and he had a great talent to show himself off as a rather stupid guy. Well, he was a very clever manipulator and a very good politician, actually. How about Obama? Is he a good poker player?
Yeah, he's an excellent poker player, as a matter of fact, yes. He knows the math of the game. He's very patient. He knows the value of waiting for hands to where he has an advantage. Let's get started.
Learning something.
So when you see someone with their cards and they've been playing poker with you all day and they've been sitting in this position and doing their bets, and then all of the sudden they are like up here and excited.
Wouldn't that be rather stupid of them?
However, they do it unconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing it. Now, on the other hand, let's say the flop comes out and your opponent sees it and then he backs away. He's like, You know that he doesn't like what he sees.
But I'm the kind of person who's always sitting like this.
Yeah, well, you're looking for subtle things. Mm-hmm. Getting excited for you might look like this.
Maybe.
Very slight.
Maybe.
Okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to have to work on what's known as your icy stare. Now, this is a technique where you're going to look directly at your opponent, who's right over there. Mm-hmm. And you're going to want to just look at him like you're looking right through him. Like there is absolutely nothing this man can do that would dissuade you.
Ik oefen nog even op mijn ijzige blik. Maar laat ik eerst eens kijken hoe je als kandidaat eigenlijk aan geld moet komen. In Las Vegas worden miljarden verdiend. En hoewel je als mormoon niet mag drinken en niet mag gokken, schrikt Romney er als presidentskandidaat niet voor terug om geld aan te nemen van een van de grootste gokbazen ter wereld. How much money do I need to become president of the United States?
Well,
at the least.
At the least, you're going to need tens of millions of dollars, probably hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds. I read that the Supreme Court decided this year that you can pump as much money in a presidential campaign as you like.
That's pretty much true, but it's more complicated than just that.
Okay, please explain.
The candidate himself can only raise limited amounts of money, about $4,600 at a pop. So what's happened are these super PACs have been formed, outside organizations that aren't supposed to coordinate with the candidate and who can accept unlimited amounts of money. So you have these outside organizations that are formed. They are accepting contributions of tens of millions of dollars and spending unlimited amounts on the presidential election.
How much money are Romney and Obama going to spend together before the elections in this whole cycle?
All of the money put together from all sides, it looks about $2 billion.
$2 billion. Well, I read a lot about this guy, Adelson, who gave lots and lots of money first to Newt Gingrich, and then, of course, to Mitt Romney.
Sheldon Adelson owns the Las Vegas Sands, which is a large gambling corporation. They're headquartered in Las Vegas, so he's made his wealth in Las Vegas when gaming was booming in southern Nevada. Now Las Vegas Sands is operating, has huge hotels, resorts in Macau in China, so about 90% of his profits are coming from gambling in China.
And I suggest this for a lot of my players. Because you're looking for other people's tells, you want to hide your own. So a good way to do that is to wear some sunglasses. Because if you're hiding your eyes and where they're looking, and you could throw your opponents off that way as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sunglasses would be a good thing.
Yeah, I usually have my new players wear sunglasses. Oh yeah, well, that's a pretty good poker face right there.
Okay.
You want to have that poker face that when you put your bet in,
I'll try.
and you have absolutely nothing,
Okay.
your opponent thinks he must have everything. You look
Also-
like
also
Arnold
for me.
Schwarzenegger before he's getting ready to ride a motorcycle or something.
You're the first person in my life who said that I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, it must be all that time you've spent in the gym.
How do they spend these idiotic amounts of money? What do they do with $1 billion?
It's surprising. Television stations are making an awful lot of money from this campaign. A lot of it is spent on the television ad war.
Supporting Mitt Romney.
Er gaan dus miljarden naar dit soort van advertenties. En u ziet het wel, het is heel andere koek dan die rare zendtijd voor de politieke partijen.
4 more years.
You know, they also spend a lot of money on what's called the ground game or the grassroots game. So they will go out.
You can explain what the ground game is.
Yeah, the ground game is actually each campaign will go out and identify who their voters are. So that takes a lot of work on the telephone and knocking on doors, sending mailers. So who among all the voters are going to support my campaign? Once you've identified who's going to support you, your job is to go out and get them to vote. So again, either with the phone calls, have you voted yet? Who are you going to vote for? Knocking on people's doors or sending them mailers in the mail to try and, one, persuade them and two, get them to the polls. And these are pretty sophisticated operations. The Obama campaign has tried to finance itself based on the smaller contributions. And they like to tout their acceptance of very small dollars, like even $30 contributions up to $4,600 contributions. But something happened when the Republicans started spending all of this outside money, the unlimited amounts of money. Obama's campaign advisors became nervous and said, we're not going to be able to keep up with this. So now the Obama campaign and Democrats are going to the rich, deep pockets as well as the Republicans. Both sides have their unlimited contributions.
Well, at least if you have glasses on, you can actually close your eyes and no one would know. Maybe these would work better for you.
They're all...
Oh yes, those are perfect. You can see perfectly through those, yes?
Not at all. I cannot even read through them. Do they ever appear at the poker table completely naked? So that your eyes say, oh, what's this? Have you ever tried that?
Strip poker?
No, just appearing at the table completely naked.
Completely naked.
But acting as if you are fully clothed.
But acting as if... That sounds like something interesting. I might want to try that one of these days.
Okay. If you do, maybe you could say that I suggested that.
Van Rossem did. Yeah. The next president of the United States.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably have to drop your name that way to keep them from arresting me.
Casino's, pokeren, one-arm bandits, lieve kijkers, ik heb er totaal niks mee. Maar een pokerface, dat zou mij misschien in de campagne wel wat verder kunnen helpen. De verleiding is eigenlijk groot om jezelf een keer volledig zo uit te dossen en dan een keer bij Knevelen van de Brink te gaan zitten. Security was lousy.
Security was terrible. Oswald could have thrown the rifle out the window and hit the president in the head and killed him that way, as opposed to shooting him, because he was that close to the limousine.
We have our own stamps, we have our own money, we have everything that a country has.
Lekker treintje spelen en eigen postzegels. Het is in feite een vorm van infantiele wensvervulling, zou je kunnen zeggen.